But when you sit in the seat and you feel the energy of electricity putting something on your backside, the forces that surround power is always the real power.
Hi guys, Christy here. I hope you've been well. I am good myself. To those of you that continue watching, subscribing, liking, commenting to the videos that I put out here, I don't take any of that for granted. So thank you so very much for your support. I realize these are conversations that we are supposed to be having. And the crazy part is it's not just about America, but it is also something that we Africans or different countries, we can pick a thing or two. Let's watch this clip, come back, and we talk about it.
On CNN, I was questioned after I spoke in 2007 about Barack Obama. And CNN said, well, what do you think about this young man? I said, I think he's brilliant. I think he has fresh ideas. But I'm under no illusion that even if he did become president, that he could change the reality of black suffering in America.
Black faces in high places are not going to save us. Just look at the black proponents of Cop City in Atlanta's leadership class. Black faces in high places are not going to save us. Just look at the black woman's hand, ambassador at the UN, voting against a ceasefire in Gaza. That is, our blackness and our womanness are not in themselves trustworthy. If we allow ourselves to be conscripted into positions of power that maintain the oppressive status quo, our blackness and womanness are not themselves trustworthy if we support the occupation of black neighborhoods with so-called better trained police.
Because when you are running for something, you can say a lot of things, but when you sit in the seat and you feel the energy of electricity putting something on your backside, the forces that surround power is always the real power. President Obama does not run this country. President Obama has been chosen to govern white affairs. And if in that process we get something, it won't be because the governing powers want it. It will be because we organized and forced a government to speak to our needs. Now, look, thank you for the question. You know, I want it clearly said in love that I love my brother. I voted for him. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I was out there with my wife voting for our brother. I, like you, am very proud that a black man sits in the White House. But I also understand very clearly, and we should understand that it is the White House. And until we exercise power to force that house to address our agenda. Now remember, our dear sister Julianne Malvo mentioned A. Philip Randolph. Man, that was a long time ago. And the cry was jobs and justice. In the March on Washington in 1963, the cry was jobs and justice. In the 20-year anniversary of the March on Washington, the cry was jobs and justice. We are now in 2010. And what is the cry? Jobs and justice. Well, wait a minute. How long are you going to sit around begging white people to do for us what we have the power to do for ourselves? Excuse me. I'm quite passionate, so you all set me off. You know that. And I love it. But listen, an agenda is a program, a schedule, a timetable, a plan, a list, a scheme to accomplish a certain result. We have come up with black agendas, but we've been looking to the wrong people to fulfill our agenda. If Franklin Delano Roosevelt said to A. Philip Randolph, yeah, everything you told me is right. The Negroes need this, the Negroes are suffering that. Now you go out and make me do it. Do you think that having a black face in the White House means that we don't have to make him do it?
That's right.
That's right. Who surrounds him? Let me even go up a bit further. I just...
It's all right. It's all right, Linda.
Look. Our brother is brilliant. He got a good heart. I think he really loves America and wants to make America better. He wanted to ease the pain between America and the Muslim world. He wants to solve the problem of Israel and the Palestinians. He has the heart to want to make America better. But he's like that camel in the Quran that God warned the people, don't hamstring his camel. They didn't care what God wanted. They hamstrung the camel. Every one of our brothers and sisters that spoke today, we have a right to expect something from our brother. 97% of our people voted for him. Yes, there's trouble asset relief program, but there's no. There is still racist America between the money being sent down and it coming to those who need it most. If he does not use his bully pulpit to address that, we can fault him for that. But wait a minute. In love.
Everybody say it.
In love.
Say it again. One more again.
Okay, I want to deal with that word. Because love is bigger than some emotional feeling. The word love, you can change the vowel O to I and the consonant V to F. When you have love, real love, you have life. And that's why the scripture says we can tell that we have passed from death into life because we love the brotherhood. Okay? Now, I was with Elijah Muhammad one day, my teacher, and he said to me, "Brother, you're always talking about love. Define it for me." And I went into my Webster's emotional dictionary stuff, and he said, "Brother, where there is freedom, where there is justice, where there is equality, there is love and there is life." Our problem is we have been looking to the wrong source to give us freedom, justice, equality, love, and life.
When I landed on this video, I thought this is something Black people can pick a thing or two, especially when it comes to the positions that we are in as a people and how we'll be seeking opportunities and how we'll be depending and counting on leaders to, really cause a change. And I feel like this entire video really highlights so much that goes and happens in the background. So I hope and pray that it is an eye-opener to us to know what we need to do as a people and stop really putting so much expectations on these leaders, because the reality is, yes, there are still so much forces around power and they affect how the people we count on are going to perform. When Barack Obama got elected as the president of the United States, he wasn't just the Black president of, the Black people in America, but he was a Black president for all Black people in the in the world, including in the motherland. I remember I was just a child. I was still in primary school, and I had, conversations of mature people saying, "Oh, he's the first Black president," and how America is hyped so high for being the superpower. So America being the superpower, and everyone was scared of it. And now it has the Black president. People here got excited. And I had a lot of parents, excited, and they're like, "Oh, you need to study hard. You might be the next president of the United States. Don't you see Barack Obama? He's a Black man, but he's a leader, So he was like a ray of hope of not only you people in America, but also of us people in Africa and other people on the other side of the world that look like us." And I can only imagine how you Black people in America perceived this entire, achievement for the Black people, because of course we are assuming that, he is Black, he knows the Black struggle, he's grown from these struggles, and, he knows the issues that are affecting his people. And of course, we know that he's going to prioritize and put his people as the number one, priority. I can only imagine how many people woke up and ran just to go and vote for him. And the celebrations, I've seen videos of people saying when we knew he won, it was like a dream come true. It was like a liberation that everyone has been praying and waiting for. But at the same time, I can also sense the disappointment that people got when their expectations were not met, when he turned out to be the opposite of what they asked for. Now, Farrakhan said that power has, forces that surround it. And those forces normally determine the performance of this person or of this face that is put out there for you guys to call a leader. Because when he reached there in the White House, quote unquote White House, because it is not just called the White House for formality. That house literally has cabinet and it has forces, like he said, of people that select who is supposed to sit in this position. Now, you all know that this has been happening to us as Black people, and these are conversations we are supposed to be having, so we know we can talk, but at the same time, we need to really, really act, because if we do not act and do things for ourselves, nobody else is really, really going to do anything for us. We all know that they use Black faces to say and do things that they themselves cannot do, because they probably are going to be called out or they are going to be hated. So of course, it is always a strategy that they will use a face that you've loved so much, so you hate it so much that you cannot even trust your own people. You understand? It is the same thing that is happening in Africa. It's not because we don't have good leaders. Of course, we do have good leaders, and we normally vote for them because of the talks they normally use while they are trying to gather support. But unfortunately, the role that we have to play is not only to vote for those people and put them in power, but we have another important role which we ignore, and we leave it to other leaders that are associated with leadership to speak for, which I feel like, yeah, they also have voices, but a collective effort and a collective voice really, really matters a lot. We have to demand and put pressure on these people, especially when we see things are not going exactly the way we wanted them to go. Another thing, we see sometimes forces come in for our leaders, but we do not speak up. We feel like these people are wise and they know exactly what to do. But unfortunately, power has tendency of corrupting even the people that you thought are good people. So the people that surround these people really, really matter a lot. However, for us as citizens, our role is always to demand and speak up and not wait for only those that are in power to say something about it. Reality is those people are literally seated on time bomb. These people are seated on needles. These people are seated on, on nails. These people are seated on like circumstances that are about to blow them up. So honestly, talking without any action, we are not going to shift from any position that we are in today. We all keep complaining, especially now I shift the entire conversation to Africa. We keep talking about how our leaders are corrupt and how they don't care for their own people, but we forget and run away from the entire picture of who is facilitating this corruption, which is the West. Even the leaders that are rising right now, the West is like their escape route. Every other week, they are in the West actually trying to, take deals, sign deals and stuff like that. How in the world are you going to trust someone that is fronted by the West, that is, literally sponsored by the West to come and fight for you? You understand? Another thing we have to stand warned against is when the West normally comes out to condemn and portray a certain leader as a junta, as, undemocratic and stuff like that. We all need to know what they are trying to fight. They always, find weak leaders that they can corrupt and put out there to protect their interests, and they're the ones they normally call democratic, and they're the ones that they normally say, oh, this person cares for their people. And so if it pushes any leader and it says this is the one that we want, it's because they can control him. It's because they can manipulate him. So it is time for us to wake up. As young people, you still see a lot of us coming out to say, oh, America should come and help us with this type of leadership. This one is a dictator and stuff like that. But what has America done? Like everywhere it has been. Is there any history of something good really that has happened there? Is there? And that's what you're looking up to. And you are actually willing to vote people that look up to America and literally are on, flights every weekend to go to America to seek for, help and attention, and then they end up signing deals and stuff like that. They are literally selling your country, but then you are looking towards these people. I feel like the savior syndrome is something that we need to get rid of. So for people that normally look at America, UK, and Europe, and Russia, and China to come and save, all of those people are protecting the interests of their own people, because that is all they have always done. When we go back to colonization and they came, they said they, civilized you, but at the end of the day, they stole everything from you, and they are still stealing, and you still have the nerves to trust such people. I feel like we need to wake up as the Black community, both on the motherland and in the West. For me, until we have people like Traoli, until we have leaders that literally are going to stand and put their foot in front and be like, no to the imperialist regime and to the rules and to their conditions and the sanctions they are threatening to give us, we've had enough of that. We can't shift. So I want you to let me know of your thoughts. Of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will definitely see you in another video. As for now, it's Gracie here. Bye.